County inland, people living there with plenty of valid concerns about the flooding along the Peace River after that record flooding coming after Hurricane Ian. As we'll now check in with Fox 4's Ryan Kruger with what the situation is there.
The worst of the storm conditions have passed DeSoto County, but the biggest concerns here in this area, those don't come for a couple more days. Let me tell you what I'm talking about. This is the Peace River. I'm right by Highway 70, not far from downtown Arcadia. This was the river that flooded just catastrophically soon after Hurricane Ian. Now, I was out here last night. The water was significantly lower than it is right now. So it's already come up about 1/4 of a foot, according to the National Weather Service, but it is expected to rise. Now, after Hurricane Ian, this whole area, this whole boat ramp was flooded. There was water coming up into the parking lot. It flooded homes. It essentially cut off parts of Arcadia and DeSoto County from the rest of Southwest Florida. But that happened a full 3 days after Ian passed. All of that rain dumps into parts of Central Florida. It all starts to drain, and it all comes down the Peace River. That's exactly what's supposed to happen here, but on a significantly smaller scale. The National Weather Service is calling for the Peace River here at Highway 70 to crest at 10.5 feet on Monday. That's going to be just under flood stage, so it won't be anywhere near where Ian was, but county officials are warning folks who live here along the river, who sustained some flood damage. If you're already back in your home, go ahead and take those precautions. The storm may have passed, but some of the worst impacts of the storm for this region, those are going to come in a few days. In Arcadia, Ryan Kruger, Fox 4.
And we want to stick with this because all eyes here in Southwest Florida are watching that, not only the Peace River where you just saw Ryan there, but also the Myakka River, because that rainfall in Central Florida has to drain into somewhere. It'll go to the Gulf of Mexico. And that's why you just heard Ryan say the next few days we could see those rivers rising. So let's go ahead and bring in meteorologist Andrew Shipley. Andrew, we were watching in the days after Ian, rescues still happening after, several days, because that water comes down and those rivers rise.
Yeah, absolutely. And from Hurricane Ian, as it moved across Florida, that storm dropped anywhere from 10 to 20 inches of rain. And as that rainfall flowed south, it caused record flooding near Arcadia as well as in Northport in the days after Ian.
As the flooding forced hundreds of homes to be evacuated and several folks to be rescued as waters rose. The flooding along the Peace and Myakka rivers took several days to crest, including the Peace River along State Route 70 in Arcadia, reaching 23.7 feet. That water, for the most part, has been falling since Ian, sitting just over 6 feet leading up to Hurricane Nicole. Rainfall from Hurricane Nicole is expected to cause the water levels to rise again. The current forecast has the Peace River rising 3.5 feet to crest at 9.7 feet on Saturday. While that is considered action stage of the river, it is still below minor flood stage, which is at 11 feet. Meanwhile, the Myakka River in Myakka River State Park is currently 5.4 feet and will likely rise some post-Hurricane Nicole, but is not expected to reach flood stage and definitely not reach the record 12.8 feet seen post-Hurricane Ian.
And while that's good news that these major rivers are not expected to reach flood stage, they can still cause additional nutrient-filled runoff into the Gulf of Mexico, and that runoff, unfortunately, is going to feed possibly additional red tide and algae blooms right up along our Southwest Florida coastline. Here in the studio, meteorologist Andrew Shipley, Fox 4.